Hey everyone, welcome back to Bloke on a Bike. So, I got my first ever podium finish, 3rd place, and I am absolutely buzzing. In my last video, I talked about jumping into a Cat C race and finishing 14th. Not bad, but I knew something was quite, well, wrong. I was riding outside of my ability. Now, as far as pushing myself, that approach is probably fine. But when it comes to actually wanting to get that podium finish or getting that win, I can't be sat in a Cat C. I am nowhere near that rate. So this time I chose a race with a racing score between 160 and 270. Riders that are actually my level, and it made all the difference. 43 riders, 29 minutes and 56 seconds of pure effort. And for the first time ever, I'm just going to leave it as the full race. No cuts, no highlight reel, the whole effort, because I thought this one was actually worth watching. As the timer counts down to 0, there are 43 riders in total. There's the usual fast pace to try and form that lead peloton. Quickly, a group of 6 riders, including myself, create the lead pack. I was already feeling confident. I was thinking, I've got a shot at sticking with this pack. Now, I've thought this before, and then in that race, I've got swiftly destroyed. Now, a couple of riders came in hot using their featherweight power-up, definitely an early mistake. I had a quick recce on this course and knew there was a climb about a quarter of the way in. At 1 minute 30 into the ride, more and more riders started joining the lead pack. I fell into 9th place, then 12th place. My only thought then was to try and not fall too far back from the lead. I also wanted to make sure that I kept drafting to save those watts. One big advantage I feel I've got over some of the riders is having that Zwift ride and having the ability to steer. Using this to try and stay in a drafting position will only benefit me in the long run. Three minutes in and my average watts are comfortably sitting under 200, below my current FTP of 207. My head and my legs are aligned in thinking that I can sustain this. I've actually got a shot here, not getting dropped by the lead pack. But again, I've had that thought before. Coming up to 4 minutes in, and I can see more and more riders using their featherweight power-ups on the flat. Looking at the gradient outline, I already knew I had an advantage over some of these riders in this pack. About 5 minutes 30 in, the gradient map appears for the upcoming climb. This is where I need to be smart. My other races included little climbs that sapped the power out of my legs and ultimately led to me getting dropped. I was determined to hang on no matter what. Stick 30 in, I've seen a few people use their featherweight power up at the base of the climb and upwards. I know I've got to hold out and use it for that last stretch of the climb, trying to think a little bit more about tactics. Eight minutes in, I'm getting into a rhythm on this climb now. Heart rate sitting at 180 BPM, average watch sitting at threshold, but I'm feeling confident halfway up this climb. Something I've not felt ever in a race. I know I still have my power up to aid my S-Works, Athos and my lightweight Millensteins. 8:41 in, I know the top of the climb is close. I drop my featherweight power up and take the lead up the climb. My thinking is, with the power up, the people behind me will need to put more effort in. If I can sap their legs, it will give me an advantage in the flat coming up and help me stick with that lead group. I'm starting to think more tactically in rides, and this only adds to confidence, and more importantly, my enjoyment. We're up at 10 minutes in, and I've got a couple of seconds lead on the leading pack. I know they're not only having to deal with the gradient, but they'll also need to push that a little bit harder to catch up. "11 minutes in and I'm at the top of the climb. It's pretty flat now for the most of the way, a chance to recover but not fall. It dawned on me at this point that I'm not only still in the race, but in a really good position. I could potentially get my podium finish, even with my heart rate sat at 180 BPM, my confidence was growing. I really felt like I was pitted against riders of my own ability. This is what a race should feel like, not futile solo time trial after getting dropped in the first 5 minutes. "12 minutes in and we've settled into a group of 5 riders in the lead. Heart rate is coming down slightly and we're still ticking along at just over my FTP. My only focus now is watching the drafting gauge, keeping on the wheels of riders and saving energy.
In the race. And I'm fourth. Oh.
14 minutes in and still going strong. I can't but help think I've got a chance to win this. I just can't get too cocky. At just over a third of the way through, anything can happen.
No.
16 minutes in, one rider's absolutely belted off and got a 4-second lead on the rest of the pack. We're just over halfway in, I maintain my effort. I've got a good feeling that that lead rider won't stay in the lead for long. Well, at least that's what I'm hoping. "18 minutes in and we're slowly catching up to that lead rider. I was right not to push too early and stick with the pack. Conserving my watts for the finish, looking at the course map, I know there's a cheeky little kicker before the end of the final sprint. I need to save myself for that. 19 minutes in, we've caught up with that lead rider now. I was right not to go on the attack at this point. Coming up for 22 minutes in, the group has settled into a rhythm. All I'm concerned with is keeping the pace and drafting as much as possible. 24 minutes in and we're on the descent now. I for sure thought someone was going to go on the attack on this section, but again we seem to stick to our current group. The difference in riding with people who are of similar ability makes Zwift racing so much more enjoyable. "26 minutes into the Kaze Kicker. Coming off the beach, there's one final climb. It's only a little one, but it may be enough to drop me from this group if they all attack. I mean, at this point, I'm already okay with coming 5th. "26:40, I dig in. I am not settling for 5th. I am chasing that podium finish. Not settling for 5th. "28 minutes in, I've reached the top of this climb in 3rd. I've got a 4-second advantage over 4th place. I can do this," is going around in my head. But again, I can't get too cocky. "28:30, I'm back into doing a solo time trial, but this time I'm in 3rd place with a 5-second lead on 4th. I need to maintain what I've got now and not get complacent. final 500 metres, I've got an urge in the back of my head to absolutely empty the tank and try for second, but that gap is too far. I just need to not let up, and I've got my podium finish. Over the line in third place in 29.56. I am over the moon. I've got my podium finish, and achieving this has definitely given me the drive to keep racing. I also couldn't celebrate too loudly because the kids were still in bed. So wrapping up, I have my podium finish. Goal achieved, and we're only at the beginning of March. But here's what's really hit me. Achieving this has given me the drive to keep racing. Not just to tick boxes, but because I actually really enjoyed that effort. Being pitted against riders of my own ability, thinking about tactics, positioning myself, timing my power-ups, that's what racing should be. Can I win one now? After that effort, I genuinely think I can. Now, to contradict what I said in my last video, if you're thinking of getting into Zwift racing, find a race in your category. Don't jump into a Cat C race to test yourself. Find races with a race score that matches your own. Because when you do, racing becomes less about survival and tactics, and actually becomes more of an enjoyable experience. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go into higher level categories just to test yourself every now and again. But if you're seeking a podium finish or a win, try and avoid them. Right, that's it from me. If you enjoyed this full race breakdown, drop me a little like and a subscribe if you've not already. And let me know in the comments, have you ever had a podium finish? What was it like? I'll see you next week with another video. Ride on.